Welcome to today's talk show with Mam Sue. Mam Sue is a mentor, a mother, a grandmother, and a friend to the young people. Our topic today is on substance and drug abuse, what we now refer to as substance abuse disorder. Because when somebody abuses any kind of drugs or substance, then it becomes a disorder. And we want to get to know what is substance and drugs disorder, abuse disorder. We'll first start by just getting to know what does it mean? What does abuse of drugs and substance mean? And like I always like using simple layman's language, it is the misuse of drugs and substance, using the drugs and substance for the purpose that it was not meant for. Tuseme kama sasa mtu akitumia kama Panadol. Panadol ni dawa tu ya unaweza ukanunua kutoka dukani. Alafu uanze kuitumia vibaya. Unameza tu wakati tu wowote, hata kama unaumwa kidogo kumeza dawa, unaumwa kidogo kumeza dawa, mwili unaanza kuzoea, unameza Panadol tu, Panadol ya kawaida. Then in that case tunasema you are abusing that drug. Because the drugs that can be abused are both narcotic drugs and even drugs, subscription drugs that can be subscribed by doctors. All of them can be abused. And we want to move further and get to know what kind of drugs are abused, and especially by the young people. This is a topic that I normally have with young people several times, and I ask them, mtaani, which kind of drugs are abused mtaani? And they have been telling me of things I can't even believe. Like most of us know about bangi, most of us know about cigarettes, about miraa and such things. But did you know that right now our youth are abusing drugs that you can't believe? There is some drug that they call mayellow na mawhite, na sometimes they call them matap-tap. You'll hear them calling them cosmos. All these things I'm learning from them, and I got to understand that these are drugs that are subscribed for people with mental illnesses. They are antidepressants, which are given to people with mental conditions. Did you know that they also abuse cough syrup, especially one that is called codeine? They do, and many other drugs. And there's also something that they've been telling me. They call it chavis. Chavis is tobacco. Wale tumeishi na wazazi wa zamani kina shosho walikuwa wanaita mbake. Where I come from, wanaita mbake. And our young people are getting to abuse that also. So there is a lot that is happening, and many parents are not aware of what our children are abusing. There is also alcohol that is on the rise, that is being abused, especially in our local estates. There is changa, and sometimes this changa is laced with other things. There is muratina. Muratina was a very respected drink in the Kikuyu tradition, but right now it is being misused, it's abused, and it's being laced with other things. They are actually drinking concoctions of many drinks, and that is why they are ending up in addiction. That is why they are ending up their lives are spoiled. Their lives are just going down the drain because there's a lot of abuse that is happening with our young people. And if you ask why this is happening, why is there so much drug abuse? And did you know that it's starting from primary school age? The age that you could never have thought would be would be abusing drugs, but it's happening. They will tell you that it's peer pressure, wanting to know how does it taste, what is it about, how does one feel. This is what they will tell you, and in most cases, it's also the availability of the drugs in our area. Like, there is this cigarette that is available in shops, and I think it goes for 10 shillings or something like that. And they can access it anywhere. If you go to the people who sell sweets, you'll find those cigarettes. They're calling them Oris. They are flavored with different flavors. And they are available to the children. These people who sell the sweets will not ask what age they are or who wants to use them. When a child goes with 10 shillings, they get it. So there is the availability of the drugs. There is also lack of direction from parents, because very many parents are ignorant on the drugs that are being abused by our children, on the substance that is being abused by our children. Many parents, the parents that I talk to, I just interact with them and I tell them about these things, and you find many parents getting very shocked about the drugs that are being abused by our children. So lack of direction from parents is also contributing so much to the substance and drug abuse in our children. There is also the experimenting part, and especially the young ones. They are trying to experiment. There is this thing also that is coming up. I think it's common nowadays. They call it vaping. And most of our parents don't know anything about vaping. So a parent will see a child with something looking like a marker pen, and you think it's just another gadget from school, or maybe some sort of speaker or something like that. But in the real sense, what they're doing is what we call vaping. And vaping is just smoking. It's a kind of high-end smoking or high-tech smoking. And many parents are not aware of this. So if parents are not aware, how do we guide our children? How do we direct our children into not doing these things? Parents have to be aware, because our children are experimenting with anything that is out there. And there is a lot that is out there. Sometimes it's the parents themselves who use these things. And children will tell you, oh, I've seen my mother doing it. My mother smokes. My father smokes. Or my parents drink. So you drink, you have drinks in your house, and you keep them there. And what makes you think that this child will not want to experiment? So you'll find this child taking your drink, alafu anaongeza maji kidogo. So by the time unakuja unapata drink yako iko, lakini kumbe tayari imesha dilutiwa kwa sababu amekunywa kidogo. Na ataanza kidogo kidogo. And akikunywa kidogo and they get that high, they'll want to continue with it. They will want to do it again and again. And they end up starting to abuse alcohol and such things very early. There are parents who are also using miraa. And you find the children are seeing. So why won't a child want to do it also? I've seen my parents do it. So it's a case of monkey see and monkey do. So children will experiment on anything. Parents, we need to be very, very careful. There are children who will want, or young people who will want who abuse drugs because they want to feel good. Maybe they are going through issues. They don't know how to bring out the things they are going through. It could be through maybe their education, maybe in school they are going through issues, maybe there's a lot of pressure at school, maybe there's a lot of pressure at home, and they just want to release this kind of pressure or this stress that they are going through, and they don't know where to take this. They don't know who to go and share with. And the easiest way to calm themselves down is to abuse drugs. And actually, most of the times I've asked young people, how did you start using bangi or any of the drugs that they abuse? Most of them tell me it's the pressure that they've been having, maybe in school or at home, or maybe things are not okay at home. There's domestic violence at home, and because they don't know who to share with, they always turn to getting a relief from drugs. So most of the young people, this is what they do. And I always want to tell parents this: never ever look at your child who is abusing drugs or who is abusing any kind of substance and you judge them. Please get to know what led my child to doing so. Why did my child start? Because you might even be thinking it's peer pressure, but in the real sense, it could be coming from you. It could be you who is leading the child into doing whatever they are doing. And that's why I urge parents, please be friends. Kuwa marafiki na watoto wako. Kuwa marafiki na uweke boundary. Ndio ajue, I can only go this far with my parent, but my parent is a friend. I can share the very deep things with my parent, because our children are getting lost. And parents, our children are getting lost as we watch. We can help them. We can help them as parents. We can help our children to come out of it. And even young people, si lazima, kama kuna pressure mabeste wanakuambia uende ukajaribu, si lazima, it's not a must. It's not a must. Jiulize kama itakusaidia kwa maisha yako. Ask yourself, how is it going to help me? Because, and then you also get to, as a young person, get to know madhara yake ni yapi. What are the consequences? What are the effects of me abusing whatever drug it is? As simple as it would look. Because sometimes you might think, let me just use one. As simple as it might look, there is always a consequence. Are you ready for the consequences that come with it? Are you ready for the effects that you're going to have, that are going to come your way? Are you ready for this? This is what you need to ask yourself first. Before you even start, get to know what happens if I try. Will it lead me into addiction? If it leads me into addiction, what are the effects that are going to be there? What are the consequences that I will face? And I think this is what we need to ask ourselves. And is it possible to come out of it? Yes, it is. Before you get so far, you can come out of it. If you have just been trying, you can stop. You need to stop. And you will stop if you want to. And then you tell yourself, I must stop because it's not good for me. How else, or what else would help in stopping? Get somebody who can help you. Get a counselor. Look for somebody who can help you. Kama uko kwa kanisa, tafuta mtu ambaye anaweza kukusaidia. Could be your priest, ama ni pastor wako. Get somebody who can help you. Talk to somebody. Maybe hata ni mzazi wako, ndio mzazi wako na yeye akutafutie mahali unaweza ukapata msaada. Get a counselor. And that's why it's important to talk to your parents. If you're struggling with any kind of abuse, drug abuse or substance abuse, talk to your parents. Talk to somebody. Just talk to somebody. And you will get help. If it has gone so far, maybe you could also seek to go for rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is a bit expensive in Kenya, but it is possible. You can come out of it. You can come out of it because the word of God in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13 tells us that, but when you are tempted, he will provide a way out so that you can endure it. When you are tempted, he will provide a way out for you so that you can endure it. This tells us that God is there and God can help us come out of it. He will always provide a way. Pray to God. Tell God that you want to come out of it. Pray to God to give you the people who can help you to come out of it. Ask God to show you. And that's why it's important as a young person, because these things are there. Our friends are there. These drugs are around us. What can help us to keep away from this? It's just relating with God. It's just knowing that God can help you. It's opening up to our parents. You know, in the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 6 tells us that, so then, let us not sleep as others do, but let us be sober-minded. When you are sober-minded, you're able to think right. When your mind is full with drugs and substance and alcohol and mirror and all those things, you're not able to think right. Your mind is distorted. Your thinking is distorted. You will not be in the right mindset to do anything. Even those ones who say that they take drugs in order for them to pass exams, in order for them to concentrate, if really you look, you will see that it really doesn't help. There are some who say that they take drugs in order to remove stress, but the stress will only go for that moment that you are high. Once you come back to your senses, the stressor is still there. So the best thing is to find out what is the stressor, what is causing this stress, and get help because of that stress. Young people, let's try to help each other. And also, young people can help each other by forming support groups in the church, in school, forming support groups where you come together and you help each other come out of it. Look for people who are like-minded, people who want to come out of it, and you can help yourself. Let's work together. Parents, let's work with our children. Young people, let's work together. Let's come together. Let the church, and especially the church, work with the parents and the young people to help our society. Our children are getting lost. Our society is broken right now because our children are lost. Our children are going down as we watch. Let us arise and help our children to come out of drug abuse, drug and substance abuse, because it is a disorder that needs a lot of help. Let us help each other. Parents, get to know what things are being used. I have learned so much. I've just mentioned a few. I'm telling you, it is a whole list of drugs that are being abused. Our children are abusing drugs left, right, and center, even in your own home. Find out. Talk to your children. Get to know what it is that is being abused. Get to know even the symptoms. How do you tell your child is in drugs? How do you tell? How can you tell? Maybe we can continue this on another session as we talk about maybe parenting or getting to know our youth. How do you get to know your child? So as we wind up, I just want to tell parents, I just want to tell the youth, I want to tell the church, I want to tell the society, let us work with each other. Let us bring down this animal called drug abuse. Let us kill it before it kills our society, before it kills our nation, before it kills our children. Thank you.